Mhm. Yeah.
I don't know how to be different. Okay. We on? Thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Today, it's a pleasure to have you come and join us at our County Board of Commissioners meeting. This is a meeting on this April 19th, 2021. It is a meeting where we decide what's best for our county. This is a meeting where we decide to move forward with an agenda that has been presented to us. To begin our meeting, we know that we have a mission statement. Our mission statement is short, but it is a mission statement that has much meat to serve the public with honesty and integrity, to help provide essential services through an equitable, efficient, and effective use of the county resources, and to be accountable to the citizens of our county. Our vision statement, likewise, a place where all citizens thrive and businesses grow and prosper, where government services to its citizens are provided at the highest level of excellence. So tonight, we come to make sure, commissioners, we look at our mission statement, what we do, we'll certainly follow what we have written down and what we follow each meeting to make sure that we do what's best for Northampton County. We do know that one of our commissioners is virtually with us, Commissioner Faulkner, Vice Chairman of our board. She's with us. So at this time, we shall have a moment of silence for all the things that's going on around us, for an opportunity for us to breathe in some fresh air. Thank you. At this time, will you please stand as we have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much for joining in with us as we have an agenda. Board members, you received an agenda earlier last week. This is the agenda that we have before us tonight. As you look at this agenda, there are any items that you wish to exclude? Are there any items you wish to include that's not on the agenda? If not, I will have at this time a motion to approve the agenda that you have before you.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the agenda.
Second.
Commissioner Evans has moved for the approval. Commissioner Boone has seconded that motion. Are there any question, any discussion? All in favor of the said motion, let it be known by the usual sign, aye.
Aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Aye, Faulkner.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much, commissioners, as we shall follow our agenda. The next item is a conflict of interest in accordance with the rules of procedures adopted by the board in section 153A44 of the North Carolina General Statute. It is the duty of every member present to vote on all matters coming before the board, unless there is a conflict of interest as determined by the board or by law. Does any board member have a conflict of interest with respect to any agenda item coming before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict, and the board will consider the matter.
I have none.
No conflict, Buffalo.
No conflict, Faulkner.
No conflict, Tyner. At this time, we do have a consent agenda, and our consent agenda consists of minutes from our previous meeting. You have before you, board members, minutes from February 8th, 2020, 21, special call meeting, February 15th, 2021, public hearing, March 15th, 2021, meeting minutes, and April 5th, 2021, regular meeting minutes. You have those minutes before you. I hope you have read those.
Absolutely.
And if so, it would entertain a motion at this time to accept those minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the consent agenda.
Okay, been moved by Mr. Edwards, second again by Commissioner Boone, that we approve the minutes. Are there any questions and discussion? If not, all in favor, let it be known by usual sign, aye.
Aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Aye, Faulkner.
Aye, ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. At this time, we have on our agenda our home consortium program. Director, Ms. Flood, the Director of Local Community Affairs, a Millennium Campus Planning Planner and Residence Department of Geography.
Good morning, Commission, or good afternoon. I would like to share my screen for whatever reason I'm not able to do that at this time. I want to talk to you a little bit about the idea of housing, affordable housing. East Carolina University has been asked to work with the State Employees Credit Union to find ways to increase affordable housing in Northeast North Carolina. We chose the footprint of CADA, which includes Northampton County among 4 others, because we find that most communities tell us if they had some additional resources for housing, they feel that they could really impact their communities by keeping some of the young talent that you all produce, particularly in Northampton County, to keep them in Northampton County, to find them, to bring a lifestyle that you would want to remain in your community, but also to grow your tax base. And so the conversation that I want to have with you tonight is probably the beginning of a conversation that may be taking us down a road if you decide to pursue it over the next several months. As I mentioned, the State Employees Credit Union looked at Northeast North Carolina because they said our contributors believe that affordable housing is an issue in these counties, and it is. Your manager has appointed individuals to serve on a regional advisory committee to help understand exactly what affordable housing might look like in Northampton County. We've presented all of the members with a baseline report to use for helping find funding. But in this process, I suggested a program that I used when I worked for the city of Greenville. I used to work for the city of Greenville as a planner and retired as an assistant city manager in 2017. And we operated a home consortium program that I'm going to share with you tonight. That program enabled us to build affordable housing in our community because we were able to use those dollars to leverage other dollars so that those dollars went further and we could create affordable housing opportunities in Greenville and the Pitt County area. The program really begins with Northampton County, Halifax, Martin, Bertie, and Hertford County. If the counties agree to participate and create a home consortium, they would sign a letter of intent and enter into a joint cooperation agreement by March 1 of 2022. Those 5 counties, if we include the municipalities, you all could receive annually $657,000 annually, and you could determine how it's spent each year. That program would require, again, a joint cooperation agreement. There is a match, but like most counties and communities, you're doing something right now that will probably serve as your match requirements. For a $657,000 grant, you would be required to provide $163,000 worth of match. But let me tell you, in my 15 years of running a home consortium, we never came up with any additional money to run the program. So it's money that you would have to either do a housing rehab program, down payment assistance, maybe produce affordable housing for first-time home buyers, maybe produce rental housing, etc. So it gives you the ability to use those dollars to attract more dollars to build housing in your community. We have introduced this to all of the 5 county managers. I am introducing it to county commissioners in one-on-one meetings, just as this one tonight. In fact, after this one, I will hopefully log on to Hertford County and do a similar presentation in Hertford County. So far, Bertie County and Martin County have received this very same presentation. You're the 3rd one out of the 5. Hertford will receive it tonight, and then Halifax in June. What we're doing is giving you the information. You actually make the decision whether or not you'd like to participate in the program. I know that the manager has received some material that I have sent to him on this program. And because I know you have a lengthy agenda, I don't want to spend as much time. I want to stop now and give you the opportunity to ask questions of me. Again, this is not East Carolina telling you that you should do this, but we are hearing that you need dollars for housing. This is one way to try and address the housing needs in your community on an annual basis. So I'll stop and see if there's any questions from the commission.
Yes, I have one question. I want to know what was CADA's response to this idea?
CADA has been along and is fully supportive of this. They are going to reach out, I think, to the counties in their footprint in their service area, and they're also going to discuss their support for this effort.
Were they interested in being the developer in this program?
They are interested. One of the requirements of the program is that you are required to, of that $657,000 that I mentioned, 15% has to go to a community housing development organization. CADA is eligible. There may be others in your counties that would also be eligible. I don't know all of the agencies within the counties, but they are interested in being a part and being one of the participants in the program with you.
Certainly, we partner with Cater. Cater's part of us. It's in Rich Square, it's headquarters, and we would certainly like for Cater to be one of those the one that represent our county in this effort. I also would like to ask you a question. Have you talked to any of the municipalities about affordable housing? I know that in particular, there is one town that's really interested in affordable housing, and that is the town of Garrisburg. And I want to know, have you discussed this with any of the towns?
Not at this moment, Mr. Chair. This is the first stop. Because I think there are 27 different municipalities. We're starting with the counties first. If the counties indicate that they're interested, we would next involve the municipalities because we have to have their involvement as well.
Yeah, because if we're going to do affordable housing, it's got to be in one of our municipalities because of the sewer situations. It's got to be in one of our towns because we got to hook up to sewer. Water would probably be no problem, but sewer would have to be. So I think this is good for county manager that we look at this and that we would look at how we can, certainly housing is needed in Northampton County. And we need to look at what kind of resources, what we need to do to help this group do affordable housing in Northampton.
Yeah, I just want to ask for one clarification from Mr. Flood. Mr. Tyner used the term developer when he was referencing CADA, but I'm assuming you're talking about the administrator. Is that correct, sir?
I'm talking about the whole work. I'm talking about the one who will certainly build the houses and operate the houses.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
CADA have done that in the past.
Okay. I didn't know if you were in terms of like program administration.
No, they do all of it.
Okay. All right.
CADA does it all.
Okay.
Board members, any comments, any questions? Board members? You sure?
Yes.
Okay, how about it, Commissioner Faulkner?
None at this time. Rooftops.
Thank you.
Something we're after, so.
Thank you. We thank you so much for your presentation. Please get back with us, count us in, even if it's through CADA, but count us in because we're looking for rooftops in Northampton County. Okay?
Yes, sir. We will be back in touch. We will let you know of the next steps and have more meetings. Hopefully we'll be traveling by the summer and I'll come out and visit you all and we can have some more discussions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, we shall move forward with our Human Resource Matters, Dr. Terence Wood, HR Director.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
We're currently recruiting for 12 full-time positions and 1 part-time position. The Finance Department, we're recruiting for an Accounting Technician 2, Administration, Director of Aging Services, Register of Deeds Department, Deputy Register of Deeds, Tax Department, Tax Administrator, Social Services Department, Social Services Director, Child Support Agent 2, Processing Assistant 4, Sheriff's Department, Deputy Sheriff, Health Department, Environmental Health Specialist, PHN 2, Child Health Lead Nurse, and Public Health Nurse 2. The Emergency Medical Services Department, Paramedic, E911 Department, Telecommunicator, and a part-time telecommunicator. Our recruiting sources continue to include our webpage, North Carolina Works, Indeed, North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, and LinkedIn. We have departures this month. Sandra Pope in DSS will be retiring as of April 30th. Kelly McKnight in DSS will be leaving as of May 3rd, and Sherry Baggin in Finance left as of April 15th. We have 6 part-time new hires in the EMS department. Paula Carpenter, Advanced EMT, started April 1. Deanna Fennell, EMT, started April 1. Heather Newsom, ENT, started April 1. Sheriff's Department, James Miller, Detention Officer, started April 15th. Destiny Everett, Detention Officer, started April 15th. And Robert Kruger, our new Veteran Services Officer, will start on June the 15th. We have 7 full-time new hires in the EMS Department. Jeffrey Pittman, EMT, started April 1. Hunter Christenberry, EMT, started April 1. Tara Fowler, temporary EMT, started April 15th. In the Sheriff's Department, Brittany Creasy, detention officer, started April 1. In the Parks and Recreation Department, Derek Day, recreation specialist, started April 15th. Social Services Department, Brittany Manley, income maintenance caseworker 1, starts on May the 3rd, and Tracy Flood starts as the income maintenance caseworker 2 on May the 3rd also. We have an update from our pay study. It has been completed, and it includes our salary recommendations as well as recommendations for job descriptions and classifications and updates to our policy manual. We met with Becky Veazey on the MAPS group on April 13th, myself and the county manager, to review those results. She will be providing updates per our meeting and their recommendations to us next month, which is when they will present their findings to the board for review and questions. And our health insurance renewal update. This evening, we have our final broker, who is our current broker, Mark III. We have their team here with us this evening who will present their quote and answer any questions the board may have. Thank you.
Dr. Wood, you did that so fast until if you could do the new hires, give it to us on a paper so that we could see it. Okay, next time, just do that so that we, that'll be fine. Okay, no problem. You're just doing it so fast and I couldn't, when you get of age, you can't do things like that. Okay. At any rate, if you do that, and that'll help all the commissioners. Then when we see people in the street and they say, thank you for the job, we can say, we'll know their name because we have the list, at least be familiar. Okay, board members, any questions?
Sounds good, Mr. Chairman.
That sound all right?
Yes, sir. Sounds like a plan.
Sure, okay, just want to make sure. And the vacancies, let us know those too, because it's going to take all of us to recruit and to bring people to Northampton County. Everybody, all of us, board members, if you know of anybody who meet the criteria, some of these jobs are, we really need to fill them. And if you know of anybody, please send them to HR. They might do what they need to do to see if they will qualify for any of the jobs, especially in our health areas, okay? EMS, those areas. If you know anybody, please let HR know about it. Thank you. I'm sorry. At this time, we should go on with Mark 3 proposals.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Valerie Jordan. It's a pleasure to be here. I spent so much time in this area. It feels like I'm back at home. So wanted to tell you a little bit about Mark III. I think that you guys worked with us and in some areas of success. And we wanted to just let you know that we really appreciate this opportunity and we hope that we are able to retain your business. Mark III is actually the largest independent broker contractor in the Southeast. And we specialize in overall benefit solutions that's kind of going to be able to help you recruit and retain your great employees, as you just mentioned on tonight. But we also wanted to let you know that we align with your mission statement and your vision statement as well in our business practice. We've actually been in business for over 45 years, serving the public sector. And again, we continue to remain committed to the very best values of the benefits for Northampton County. Our clients, as we've included you as well, but we also have some of our neighboring counties that you may be familiar with if you're on your agenda. If you turn to page 4, you can see some of our clients that we actually serve. And we also serve some of your nearby counties, surrounding counties, specifically the city of Rocky Mount, city of Raleigh, Halifax County, Franklin County, et cetera. So we are very proud that we continue to serve our communities. We've also been busy in our expansion and footprint, and this is not on your agenda, as you can see. However, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our diversity, equity, and inclusion strategy that we actually have. Mark III has actually implemented the Eisenhower Fellowship Program, and out of 3 of the universities here in North Carolina, we have actually been awarded to 2 of HBCUs. One is the North Carolina A&T State University and Winston-Salem State University. In addition, we also have let me tell you a little bit about the Eisenhower Fellowship Program. It also serves from the military. One of our actual CEOs, thank you, our CEO, Mark Browder, he's a proud veteran. So he gives back and from all veteran services. So the Eisenhower program is designed specifically to study and focus on cybersecurity. So once again, we are definitely proud to have 3 of the North Carolina universities, and we're implementing and working very hard for that strategy. Also, we've actually implemented in our healthier communities for our wellness. This is very important for us. We've actually partnered with a lot of our community success initiatives and specifically in underserved communities, addressing our health and wellness. So that's been a part of that. Also, we're looking forward to putting together our apprenticeship programs as well as some of our intern programs that we're going to actually be designing specifically and to continue to work on our initiatives with our university systems. On page 5, I want you to meet our team. I'm actually a proud member of the Mark III team, and I'm focusing on strategic marketing. And they've allowed me to come down and talk with you tonight and also to be a part of their diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have a team of experts here tonight, and I'm going to turn here. You might see these familiar faces. So Blake Spell, who's our lead consultant here. We also have Anthony Bryant. Anthony Bryant is one of our lead account executives that you also are familiar with as well. And also, of course, everyone knows Bruce Raper here, and he's our regional director. I'm going to stop here tonight because I want you to hear from the experts as to why we're here in our plan review. And with that, I'm going to turn this agenda over to Blake Spell. Blake.
Thank you, Valerie. I appreciate it. Good evening. And once again, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. Before I get into the numbers and the financials toward the back end of the presentation, I would like to take a few minutes being cautious of the time and go through a few things that Mark III does for all of our clients and has been doing for you since we were hired as your consulting firm just about 2 years ago. I think it was March of 19 was when we implemented and made a transition to your current healthcare vendor, Cigna. We have a lot of leverage because of our block of business across not only North Carolina, but Virginia, Tennessee, and across the Southeast. And that will show itself toward the end of the presentation as well. Also being an advocate for all of our clients. We bring a different kind of consulting approach to the table. Have enjoyed working with Dr. Wood for almost a year now since he joined the county. And have dialogue with him, commitment to him, to stay engaged with him on a monthly basis with claims reports and updated financial analysis on how the plan is performing. Ever since the transition was made over to Cigna, July the 1st of 2019, for your core medical benefit offerings, the plan has run extremely well, at least until we got into 2021, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Other services that we provide, administration, enrollment services, communication services, employee booklets, monitoring the plan as it states on slide 8, excuse me. We do that on a monthly basis to maintain the financial integrity of the plan. Also providing you with budget expectations well in advance of renewal time, because it all comes down to the budget and where the numbers fall. And we don't like to have surprises as we move into the renewal cycle. Couple more slides that go through some of our other medical consulting expectations and roles, book of business leverage, including stop loss, pharmacy benefits, management, negotiations with vendors of all types. We do business with anybody and everybody, and have a very diverse book of business across our health insurance block. We provide you with data analytics and evidence-based platform from an analytics perspective. Just for being a client of Mark III. Year-over-year trends and risk assessment data that we capture. Your current program, of course, is fully insured with the Cigna. So some of this information is captured by them. But we do have additional resources and third-party vendors that we do like to engage when the time is right, specifically around population health management, as it notes on slide 12. around weight, cholesterol, and blood pressure. These are three things not inclusive of diabetes, but those three inclusive of diabetes are really the four cost drivers from a plan's perspective, especially in the local government space, which is where we spend 98% of our time across our book of business. Those specific disease states really drive the bottom line cost. And we have to keep those members engaged with accountability, with incentive-based strategies, with the analytics and screenings, awareness, outreach, disease management, coaching solutions, either through a third-party vendor or through your particular vendor that you have in-house. Metrics specifically, I wanted to include this. Again, this is some data that we've been tracking back since 2013 for the city of Rocky Mount, actually. Significant improvement, biometric data, waste screenings, significant improvement over that 6-7 year period of time, where you see the inclusives all the way at the far right in the pink column are far exceeding where we started in 13. In 13, that particular population was in bad need of some engagement strategies and some wellness initiatives. And it's made significant improvement on those members in the population that are compliant based on these four categories. Bruce can certainly speak to a couple of these slides as well from some of the other things that I mentioned that we do for you for being our client. Promotional videos, enrollment videos, benefits websites we set up for you, benefits booklets. We have had a significant push from a social media marketing and advertising initiative, especially since the COVID hit, and virtually put all open enrollment type situations and scenarios last year, especially into a virtual environment and a computer environment. Facebook has been engaged, LinkedIn has been engaged. We use text messaging with our members if they provide us with their cell phone number to keep them engaged as well. Our online capabilities, enrollment, online chat, telephone numbers, 1-800 dedicated number for online enrollment assistance, benefit summaries, it's all loaded on your custom website. Some additional things that I would hit on that we do at no cost for you being our client. Flexible spending account administration, should it be necessary. ACA reporting, COBRA services, benefits websites, as we mentioned, benefits booklets, the videos. You have a wellness coordinator, as noted on the Meet the Team slide earlier in the presentation. Her name is Mackenzie, and we can engage her at whatever level to assist us with wellness strategies, and she's an outstanding member of the team. And of course, your dedicated account manager. It's small print, but we do have a list here of over 100 of our clients across the 4-state footprint that I mentioned earlier, just to give you some frame of reference of the scope of client that we have all the way from Murphy to Manio, if you will. As we move into the financial numbers, in talking with Dr. Wood and understanding that there was a significant concern and need to find something that was more affordable for not only the county, but your employees, we decided to take your plan to market this year, which is what we did. Me and my team spearheaded that initiative. Your current vendor offered us a very realistic renewal. If you look at slide 20, this is a renewal projection. I do these on a monthly basis. When I see the claims experience come through from the vendor, add trend to it, trend it forward to the end of your contract period. So we have some kind of an idea of where we're going to be going here. This is your 2020 calendar year claims experience through December of 20. Based on that data, I was looking at probably around a 7% increase based on the utilization patterns of the plan and the fully insured rate structure that was in place at that point in time. As I mentioned to you before, and I think for two reasons, as we moved into 2021, January, February, and March, as you can see here, the month of January 21 in the claims column, that's 2 from the right, we had quite a significant uptick in utilization in the month of January, bringing your 12-month rolling loss ratio, or the difference between the premium you pay in versus the claims that they pay out on your behalf, to around 82%, which is a little bit warm, okay? Two reasons. One, we have seen a slight uptick, really been waiting on it since the start of fourth quarter of last year, but we've seen an uptick across a number of our clients across our book of business. And I think it comes back to utilization returning to more of a regular norm. Now that vaccines are out, people are going to get the routine care that they avoided during the COVID pandemic because they were fearful of going to the doctor and getting sick. So we're seeing an uptick. There's also been a slight uptick within your population of some large losses related to some ongoing conditions, specifically in the oncology space, which is where we see a lot of cost drivers right now across our book of business as well. So if we look here, based on data through January, the renewal projection was 11. Again, Cigna gave us a high single digit renewal. Through February, once again, the February utilization, as you see here on slide 22, again, had an uptick, bringing our year-to-date loss ratio to just over 88%, and a renewal projection of almost 19. March was a little bit more favorable than January and February, as you see on slide 23, but still nowhere near the positive utilization trends that we saw over the first 18 months of our relationship with Cigna. So with that being said, we went to the market. We negotiated with Cigna. They've been a good partner, in my opinion, for the county to this point, and they certainly want to retain your business. In having some dialogue with Dr. Wood, I know there has been a little bit of noise from some of the employees across the county, and he's expressed some of those concerns to me. So I provided you with two options. We have an option from Cigna, a revised renewal option that is actually almost a full 10% below your current in-force rates. That will be a 10% reduction across the board. We also have an alternate option from Cigna in the third column, the yellow highlighted column, that has an alternate pharmacy program, a less managed pharmacy formulary, drug list for when you go to the doctor, that will help alleviate some of those concerns from the membership that has been expressed to Dr. Wood since he joined the county back in June. And that's about a 9.5% decrease from your current number. And then we had an offer from Blue Cross and Blue Shield. We had others, but these were the best two, and they were the best two by far. Blue Cross and Blue Shield came in with a very, very comparable benefit plan design to your current at a 10%, flat 10% reduction from your current in-force rates, 10% below current. That equates to just shy of to $296,000 on an annualized basis is what that equates to. In addition to that, the Blue Cross offer includes a $250,000 transition credit. Virtually, they're going to give you a credit off your second month's bill that will virtually cover a month and a half worth of premium. So they're going to give you a month and a half for free just to make the transition over to them. With that being said, open enrollment is right around the corner. Making a carrier transition at this point in time will certainly have to happen post haste, so we can ensure that everything gets sealed up, buttoned up, and runs smoothly as we look toward our 7/1/2021 go live date. If we equate that $250,000 credit into the Blue Cross number, that brings it to a negative 18.5% increase. So a significant savings to the county, not only bottom line employee costs, but also to your membership. Questions? I'll pause for a moment. Okay. If we go to slide 25, I wanted to show a couple of exhibits and a couple of ideas that we can do to impact specifically dependent care, employees, children, because right now we have very, very few dependents on the county plan, honestly, because the current rate structures put it into a situation where it's just not affordable, right? Again, a concern that Dr. Woods had since his first day on the job, and we've had dialogue about it on a regular basis. So if you look at the top two boxes, this is your current rate structure with Cigna and the renewal rate structure at the top right box. Currently, an employee to be covered on the county's benefit program pays just over $94 out of their paycheck every month, and the county's picking up $914. The Cigna renewal offer, if we pass all of those savings on to the employee, would bring it down to $5, $4.93 a month. And again, leave the county funding at 82316 to keep that consistent with what's in the budget. A couple of things that we could do is we could subsidize. And this is what I would recommend. If you come down to the very bottom box on slide 25, this is the Cigna renewal offer with the alternate RX program. The Blue Cross rates for their program are virtually the same, and we'll leave the transition credit out of the equation for right now because we don't want to use those dollars to buy down things now because we got a lot of savings potential already there. So the bottom box on slide 25, this is your Cigna renewal offer. And what I've done is we've left the employee contribution on a monthly basis at $80 for every employee covered as an employee only. So they're going to get virtually a pay raise of $15 a month, but still contributing aggressively to the plan, not to reduce it overly aggressively. And what that benefits us in doing is we can take the difference with the savings in the renewal offer, either the renewal or the Blue Cross offer. We can take those savings and reallocate it to your dependent tiers. So if you look down at the bottom, and this is an assumption that I made, if we make the dependent rates more affordable, you're going to have more people enroll in the plan for family coverage, correct? So if you come down to the bottom, I made the assumption we might get 12 employees to cover a spouse, 14 to cover a child or two, maybe a handful to cover their full family. And we can subsidize with these savings and give them a rate that's much more affordable. So as an example today, for an employee to cover him or herself and a spouse, it's $1,177 a month. Under the rate structure that I've outlined for you at the bottom, we virtually cut that number in half, which was ultimately my goal. And also some dialogue that Dr. Wood and I had on multiple occasions. Currently, for an employee to cover him or herself and a kid or two, they have to contribute $650 out of their pocket every month. Under the scenario at the bottom, that number would go to $286. And family on down the line. You see at the bottom right of that bottom box, negative 5.45%. That represents the net renewal to the plan. So we're subsidizing, we're shifting dollars around in those dependent tiers. We're giving the employee only a little bit of a break, and we're still almost 5.5% below current from a total bottom line cost perspective. Again, the Blue Cross numbers would mirror this very, very closely because the rates are very, very similar. And we'll leave that transition credit to the side for right now. My recommendation, the recommendation of Mark III, would be to retain and stay with Cigna. With that being said, if we do that, we're leaving $250,000 on the table. That doesn't make any sense, right? Both options are great. Both carriers are great. We have a great relationship with both. I'd like to have some more dialogue with Dr. Wood and see what his thoughts are after he's seen some of this analysis, probably for just the first time yesterday or today, and see what he thinks about some of these contribution structure changes that I've proposed, and then get a better feel for him on his thoughts around transitioning to Blue Cross this year and make it happen quickly, or if we want to retain the services of Cigna, who's been a good partner for us for the last 2 years, for one more year in the interest of time, and then make that transition next year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me ask board members, do you have any questions that you need to ask at this time? And I'm talking to probably Vice Chair and Mr. Edwards. You all are in that business too. You know more about it than I would ever know. Would you have any questions that you need to ask on our behalf? For me, it's dollars and cents. How much we can save our employees. That's what it means. That's what it means for me. But of course, you all might want to say something different.
On page 25, can you?
Yes.
Back. I just want you to reverberate that subsidizing component one more time.
Excuse me, sir.
Just subsidizing component when you were talking. Could you just reverberate that one more time, please?
Sure. So the bottom grid on page 25.
That's right.
Yes, sir. So what in essence I've done here is just do the math for us. With the reduction from, in this case, a Cigna renewal of almost 9.5%, we leave the employee rate at $80 every month, okay? Currently, it's 94. It would go to 80. They get a little bit of a break. Assuming we've got 265 employees that are covered currently as employee only or that are covered by the plan, you take the difference in the 80 and the 493 per month in the top right box, multiply the delta by the 265, and that brings us to around $19,000 in additional money that we can then take and reallocate to the dependent tiers as what looks like a subsidy from the county, but really it's just reallocating the savings we're getting from the carrier. So we put the red numbers at the bottom box that would be the true employee net monthly contribution for those dependent tiers and put that in a much more affordable position for them.
Clear.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Commissioner Boone, question?
Just to ask one more time, what was your recommendation? You noted, you talked about the Blue Cross Blue Shield and the $250,000.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you presented the alternate prescription renewal with Cigna.
Mm-hmm.
What were your thoughts between the two?
My recommendation at this point in time on April the 19th
Right,
would be to renew with Cigna,
renew with Cigna.
understanding that we're going to leave money on the table,
Mm-hmm.
just from a timing perspective. And to the Reverend's point, I mean, it is bottom line dollars and cents when it comes down to it, right? I get that, right?
Got it.
You know, so.
My whole concern was the fact that, you know, our employees had real concerns with the fact that they couldn't afford, you know, to take care of their family. I'm just speaking on a few that had come to me.
Mhm.
You know, they couldn't afford insurance for their, you know, children or for their spouse or what have you.
Yes.
And that's a problem. Then I also, you know, had conversations with staff, department heads, you know, making the comments that, you know, if we're going to try to recruit new employees, we need to have better healthcare options.
Understood.
Just point blank period. And so, like Chairman Tyner said, that's just really what it boils down to. What's going to be the best for our employees?
And these subsidy numbers are really arbitrary. I was trying to get to a point where I reduced the dependent cost by 50%.
Mm-hmm.
That's why these subsidy numbers are showing here. So next year it'd be half of what it is today. That was the goal. But I didn't even use all of the savings to get to these numbers. We could subsidize more aggressively if the county wanted to and reduce these dependent costs and not cost the county any more money than they're paying today. It's just a matter of which bucket we want to put it in.
Right.
And again, that's certainly some more analysis that I can do once I get your feedback, which I'm sure Dr. Wood will share when he gets it.
Right. And I've been doing comparisons between the three presenters that we've heard the past month or so. So we'll keep talking.
Any other questions, commissioners? Any other questions?
Not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
No, sir, not at this time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Faulkner, any other questions?
Not at this time. I'm just doing a comparison. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Chairman, can I make one statement?
Yes, you may.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. I had the privilege 2 years to represent Mark III employee benefits to the Northampton County Commissioners. And what I remember, as I'm sure Mr. Tyner and Mr. Owens remember, and some of you other may remember also, nobody wanted your business. Think about that. The company that had your business at that time, I think it was the League of Municipalities. League of Municipalities, they came in at a 34% rate hike. We were able to negotiate them down. But still, we went to the marketplace as Mr. Spell pointed out, we have that leverage power to work with carriers across the state of North Carolina. Anybody who does any insurance business in the state of North Carolina, we do business with them. We're probably either number one or number two with Blue Cross Blue Shield in North Carolina. We're number two. So we're either number one, number two every year as their top producers. That being said, my point about this is, again, as I remember 2 years ago, Dr. Wood, how difficult, as I've shared with you when you came aboard, how difficult it was to find an insurance company that would come aboard and make it budget worthy, where you could afford it budgetarily. And Cigna did come to the board to do that. So I just wanted, and I know what our fee is, what our fee structure is probably less than half of what any of our competitors are offering you right now too, because we're very transparent about that. My home is in Greenville, North Carolina. As Ms. Jordan pointed out, we have the privilege of working with county governments across North Carolina. We do Pitt County government, my home county. We do Halifax, we do Durham County, we do Edgecombe County, we just Nash County, all around you. The reason they choose us is because in bad years and in good years, we provide solutions. So I want you to take what we've shared with you tonight, because you've had a better 2 years. Again, 2 years ago, nobody wanted your business. But 2 years later, things have trended where we need them to be for you guys to bring you a better plan offering. And both, whether you choose Cigna or whether you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield, I mean, personally, it's hard for me to leave $250,000 on the table. I'm gonna have to talk to him about that now. So that's just my point about that. But I just want to let you know that we're honored to work with you. And if you have any further questions, please let us know, because we do work on a daily basis to earn your business. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. When is our time limit that you all need to know? Dr. Woods, have you come up with when we need to make a decision that?
Well, as I said to the county manager earlier today, at the conclusion of this meeting, I'll send you guys side by side of all the presenters.
Okay.
All the information so that we can make a decision.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for your time. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Water purchase agreement. Becky Turner, down the seaboard, North Carolina.
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
Thank you for allowing me to come to talk to you this evening about our water use agreement between our two entities. In 2019, Town of Seaboard was awarded a grant to have an interconnection for emergency purposes between the Town of Seaboard and Northampton County. And as we have pursued that, we are now to the point of the water service agreement. And so this agreement is a standard agreement between entities in the use of emergency services for water between the two parties.
So really, Becky, what I'm understanding, this means that if Seaboard needs some water emergency, the county would supply an emergency
Yes.
situation.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And at the same time, we could reciprocate.
That's right. If we need one of our tanks go down and we need some water, we
Correct.
Well, okay. Board members, you have any questions that you need to ask? Yes, sir. Yo, certainly.
Ms. Turner, hi, good evening. I'm Scott McKellar, and we may have had some back and forth, and I apologize because I thought, I don't have the big picture on the water service, but I do have some questions about the contract that I've looked at several times, and I just want to be clear, and I don't have, someone from our public works to answer these questions, but I feel like I wouldn't be doing my job. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask, but it's my understanding from reading the contract that it obligates the Town of Seaboard to purchase water under emergency circumstances. But I read it that the county has to purchase water from the town under normal operating conditions.
No, no, sir, that's not the intent of the water service agreement. It is, it was my recommendation to actually strike any amount out of the agreement altogether. But this is a water use agreement, the same as you have currently with the other municipalities throughout the county.
Okay.
It in one.
I'm just quoting, and I'm not, understand, I'm not trying to be difficult. I know we need to get this done, but it does say, I'm quoting one section, under section 2, paragraph C, it says, under normal operating conditions, the county shall purchase and receive water from the town. You know, so that to me is an affirmative obligation from the county to purchase water. And it certainly doesn't say under emergency conditions. So I was just asking the questions, and the other question, and it says that we have to purchase up to 0.050 million gallons per day.
That's 50,000, yeah.
50,000 gallons per day. And so that's just how I read it.
And it's the capability to produce that much in either direction. However, there is no penalty for exceeding that limit if we need to purchase more than that from you. We would purchase at your selling price and abide by your payment scale, the same as if it were reversed. And under paragraph C of section 2 there, if you read that in its entirety, it's describing the point of transfer of water. At that point of the delivery is where that should take place. And so perhaps the word shall is inappropriately used, but it's just describing the point at which the connection would be, which is on the west side of Seaboard, on our west end of town.
We're going to ask our attorney on this matter to resolve this with you, Becky. The two of you are.
And I'm not trying to hold this up any further. I know time is of the essence on this. I mean, I guess my suggestion would be, you know, if, from my standpoint, if we could just clarify that it's a mutual obligation on both parties, that they're purchasing in emergency situations.
Yes.
We can modify it to that extent.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you tomorrow, I'm not holding them up. We'll approve this as long as you go through it and you feel satisfied with it. That's all I'm saying. And I don't want to approve it if you're not satisfied with it. If the language is not in there that satisfied you, the attorney, I think you and Becky can work that out. Town of Seaboard. We give you tomorrow, whatever we do, we'll approve it as long as you put your stamp of approval on it. Am I right, Commissioner? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Right. I'm going to make sure we all together. And we're not holding it up, Becky. You all just work out that language in there that you might need to change if you need to change or whatever you need to do. Commissioner Faulkner?
Yes, sir.
Would you agree? Would you want it?
I'm fine as long as the language, the final version of the contract is with the intent that we verbally stated. I just feel more comfortable when when that contract is actually states that. So as long as we can put that as a conditional approval.
I know. Okay, any other board members? Want to make sure that all are satisfied, all know?
I am.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Could we have that motion made now? Commissioner Faulkner, I think you said it probably. Commissioner Faulkner?
Yes, sir. Just 1 second. Let me pull back to that screen. I make
Okay.
a motion that we approve the water purchase agreement as presented by Ms. Becky Turner and the Town of Seaboard, conditional upon the removal of the statements regarding the County of Northampton that shall purchase water from the Town of Seaboard, removal of all of those terms. I guess that's section 2C.
Could I have a second? We move to proper second. Motion made by Vice Chairman Faulkner, second by Commissioner Boone, that we would approve this, providing you all make the changes as given by the motion. Are there any questions, any discussion? All in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
Aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
I Faulkner.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Attorney, this is in your hands, and we're asking for you and Becky work out whatever you make those changes.
Turner, thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Turner.
Ms. Turner, I want to thank you for some other things that the other commissioners might not know. How you working with our water department now in the absence of us having a full-time water person. I've learned from our county managers that you've been working and making sure that our water system is where it needs to be. I just want to say thank you for doing that.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we're going to have on Solve Code Red Agreement, Tony Burnett.
Good evening, Commissioners. A couple of months ago, we had our E911 director come before you and present some data about the number of citizens who were registered with Code Red, and the number was very low. So Mr. Burnett took it upon himself to work with Code Red to amend the current agreement to offer better services with our contract with them. And I provided a decision paper here that kind of outlines some of the upgrades, service upgrades. As you can see, number one, fully unlimited usage plan and without overages. This means we won't have to worry about incurring any rollover costs, unlimited users, across fire, police, emergency management, should be sheriff, county offices, social services, public works, parks, etc. In terms of expanded service options, it can be used for any function as long as we're not asking for money or votes. Enhanced citizen registration services. Once the contract is executed, Code Red Services will schedule an on-all call and release scheduling set up for residents. So as you can see, the improvements, the budget impact, the current agreement would just be a slight addendum of $932 for the remainder of the current contract from April of this year to September. And upon renewal, will increase to $2,000 per year. So it solves the problem of making sure that we have our citizens registered with Code Red. You can see the expanded functions, and you can see the budget impact. I'll let Mr. Burnett add anything else he'd like to add.
I'd like to say good afternoon to the commissioners,
Good evening.
Mr. County Manager, and Attorney, and to our citizens of Northampton County. Thank you, County Manager, for going over that, and thank you for sitting in that presentation with me with OnSolve. This proposal that we're looking at, you guys got it in front of you, just upgrade of $2,000, and what that's going to bring us, the ability that's going to give us to add 10,000 more people to the amount of people we can hit with Code Red. Right now, it's a little 7,400 and some people that we dial out on Code Red. And all of you know for yourself, the storms has been steadily increasing each year. And we've had quite a few this month with hail and everything else. And we've had to send out the Code Red in the tornado watch. So with that, some of the things with the upgrade is being able to switch this over to police, over to social services, parks and recs, to other departments, so they can send out that Code Red message for different things. I know we used it with the COVID, with letting people know what COVID site to go to. So that's going to enhance. And with this, we shouldn't have any problem with the uses. again, I'm looking forward to this upgrade and the amount of people that we can hit. I think right now we're close to 20,000 residents in Northampton and not being able to touch, but only 7,400. That's unacceptable on any measure.
That's it now. Board members, you have any questions? You'd like to ask Mr. Burnett, our county manager. Code red is important for us because that keeps us all to be alert to any activities that's taking place in the county or in our area. I think it's just great for that amount of money. And then there are other announcements that you can make on it likewise. Absolutely. I do have one question. Who's gonna be in charge of it?
Right now, it's still being ran under emergency management.
Okay.
And with that, it say like if recreation, if James need me to send something out, he can call me. Hey, Tony, this is what I need to send out. And for the other agencies, that way it's controlled under one department and being able to shape that message. I know with our health department, whenever Andy needs to send out a message, I have him to shape the message and I send the message out for him in his voice. There's a number that our department heads can call to create that message, and I'll in turn send their message out with their voice attached to it.
And in terms of public safety, let's say if we wanted to have a meeting about public safety, we could send this out as well to our citizens.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I would be remiss if I didn't speak on this, and I have to. I have to. I was looking earlier at the definition of emergency management. What do emergency management does? And here it is right here. Is a managerial function charged with creating the framework within the communities to reduce vulnerabilities to hazard and core with disasters. Emergency management seek and promote safety for vulnerable communities. And right now in our community, there's a lot of people in our community feeling not so safe. Not so safe. The county manager called me earlier today. And he said, Mr. Burnett, I'm getting these calls from our community about so much violence going on in our community. And I told the county manager then that we're working on something to address that. That we have these social ills that's going on in our community right now as we speak, that families are hurting right now. And again, as I said before, I would be remiss if I didn't speak to that, because I know people are looking for their leaders to be able to make decisions that would change their lives and the lives of their children. And I'm asking this board to join with us. Right now, we are in the process of talking with community leaders, churches, and different organizations about coming together around violence in our community and throughout the Roanoke Valley. Every child life is precious. Every child life is precious. And we want our citizens to know that we grieve with them and that we're going through this with them. Commissioners, I would be remiss if I didn't speak to this, because it's something dear to my heart and something that I know our citizens are dealing with right now as we speak throughout Northampton, throughout Halifax, throughout the Roanoke Valley area. And it has to be addressed. We can't turn our backs to it. We can't say that it don't exist. We can't go in our homes and close our doors and expect for it not to come to our doorsteps. We have to be proactive with it. We have to speak to it, and we have to stand, even if it means standing alone, but we have to stand. Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you. Code red, yes. Could I have a motion to approve code red
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of code red,
okay.
according to the terms presented in the budget impact and the decision paper.
Okay, code red agreement. Yes, second. Second by Commissioner Boone. Motion made by Commissioner Edwards. Are there any questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor, let known by you sign aye.
Aye.
I Buffalo. I Faulkner.
Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, Tony, for what you're doing. Okay?
Excuse me, Director Burnett,
Mr. Burnett,
do you have a date yet for your community outreach?
We're in the process right now. That date is looking at May 2nd. May 2nd at the West Castle in Garrisburg.
A time, because we,
Time is around about 6 o'clock right now. That's what we're looking at. We're still working on that.
okay, because we,
Nothing in stone right now, but
okay.
that's what we're looking at.
If you would, please consider that because we do have something on May 2nd as well, our Northampton Memorial Ceremony. And that's at 7. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We appreciate it to the highest. Our citizens, we are concerned about our citizens. We are concerned about the welfare of our citizens. And let us not sit here and declare that the things are all right when there need to be improvement. Okay? At this time, let us move forward. We got the rezoning request. Mr. William Flynn, the Planning and Zoning Director.
Good evening.
good evening.
As I understand, this is the same request that came before you approximately 2 weeks ago. And I know there was a lot of information to digest at that point. So nothing has changed from our side. And Mr. Commissioner Tyner, if you have any questions or any of the board members have any questions, I'm open for that at this point.
Thank you. Board members, you have received lots of information about this zoning that was requested. We had already rezoned part of this, but this was not ready when this 100 acre was not ready when they brought it before us. So it's not spot zoning. It is zoning with a continuation of what they already had. And I note that board members, you brought it to my attention and we got all the information. And now it is before you again with the information we received. So many of you did not have all the information and now you do have it. And I want to know, what is your pleasure about this at this time?
Mr. Chairman, I move approval of the rezoning request that is presented.
Can I have a second?
Second, Buffalo.
Second, Buffalo. There's a question and discussion. All in favor, let know by your side, aye.
Aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
I Faulkner.
Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sir, thank you.
Mr. Flynn.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn.
If I may, Mr. Tyner, I want to thank Mr. Flynn and his staff again for all the work they've done over the past year with the land use plan. It's been a great success for the county. It's our first official land use plan. And he's added this on to his daily responsibilities and he's taking the lead on this. I want to thank Mr. Flynn personally. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn.
Mr. Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. Flynn. We appreciate it. We really do. Okay? Okay, let's move forward with the tax.
Good evening, everyone.
Madam.
Good evening.
My first decision paper is to obtain the board's approval to release or refund ad valorem taxes assessed in the amount of $1,534.08 on 4 appeals. Attached hereto is a listing of the property owners who have requested I appeal to the Board of Commissioners on their behalf for the release or refund of the tax to which they seek relief as provided by General Statute 105-381.
What is your pleasure, board?
This is Commissioner Faulkner. I make a
Yes,
motion.
Commissioner.
I make a motion that we approve the release or refund of ad valorem taxes assessed in the amount of $1,534.08 for 4 appeals.
Been moved and properly second that we approve the ad valorem taxes of $1,534.08 Are there any question in the discussion? Who seconded that?
Ms. Boone.
Okay, but I'm sorry, Commissioner Moore, I just want to make sure you had it in the minutes. Are there any question in discussion? If not, all in favor, let know by you sign aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Thank you.
Thank you also.
Thank you. Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Continue on.
Okay, my second decision paper is to obtain the board's approval on 14 appeals in the amount of $970.03 on ad valorem tax appeals on motor vehicles. Attached hereto is a listing of the property owners who have requested that I appeal to the Board of Commissioners on their behalf for a refund of the tax to which they seek relief as provided by General Statute 105-381.
Okay, board members, what is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the refund in the amount of $970.03.
Second.
Moving properly second, motion by Commissioner Boone, second by Commissioner Edwards, that we would approve the tax refund as given. Are there any questions in discussion? If not, all in favor, let know by you sign aye.
Aye.
Aye, Buffalo.
Aye.
Aye, Faulkner.
Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Continue.
My third decision paper is an appeal of Miss Elaine Benson regarding a parcel she owns. This decision paper is to obtain the board's action regarding the tax appeals for the years 2012 through 2020 on parcel 0602004. The Northampton County was not aware that the account address was incorrect until Ms. Benson informed the tax department in March of 2021. None of the correspondence have been returned. To the best of my knowledge, Ms. Benson never contacted the tax department regarding the tax bills for her second parcel. There are 9 years of taxes that have not been paid. Per General Statute 105-348, all persons who have or who may acquire any interest in any real or personal property that may be or may become subject to a lien for taxes are hereby charged with notice that such property is or should be listed for taxation, that taxes are or may become a lien thereon, and if the taxes are not paid, the proceedings allowed by law may be taken against such property. This notice shall be conclusively presumed whether or not such persons have actual notice. Ms. Benson does own another parcel, which she purchased in 2005, and she is current on those. And she has been making payments on this one already. She has paid over, last time I looked, over $300 on this bill. She has, I have attached a letter from Ms. Vincent explaining her views. And she's also, I believe, in attendance by Zoom.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, I'm here. So you want me to speak now or?
Have you finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, you may speak now.
Okay, good evening, commissioners, and thank you all for allowing me to speak with you tonight. And I promise you I will be brief. My name is Elaine Benson and I'm from Woodland. I currently live in Raleigh. And as Ms. Butler just stated, on December 28, 2011, I purchased 0.46 acres of land in Woodland from Eugene Stancer, which is adjacent to the 4 acres that I already own and have been paying on since 2005. When Mr. Stancer and I met with the Attorney Vic in Murfreesboro on December 28th, he informed me that he would submit the deeds to the Register of Deeds, which he did because I pulled up the deed. On March the 23rd, 2021, Mr. Stancer took the letter that he had received from the tax office, which was dated March the 1st, 2021, which was entitled Delinquent Debt to Northampton County Tax Department. He gave it to my brother who lives in Woodland, Breshaw Benson. My brother called me in Raleigh and he read the letter to me and he gave me the account number. And I was surprised So I called immediately that same day, and I spoke to Ms. Kincaid, Shirley Kincaid, Edna Thomas, and later I spoke to Ms. Butler. I had, as Ms. Butler has said, I have been paying on it since I found out about it. It has, I noticed that there are a lot of interest that's been added to it. And so I wanted to appeal to the board because somewhere there was a miscommunication between the register of deeds, because I do have the deed in front of me, as well as the county tax office. So 9 years went by and this letter went to Mr. Stantz's address for 9 years. And it wasn't until March 21st, he decided to bring it to my brother's house to let me know. And it was a big surprise to me because, you know, the last thing I want to do is not pay my bills. And as Ms. Butler said, I have been paying on the property that I inherited in 2005 since I inherited that land. But I just wanted to just buy this land that was adjacent to the land I inherited from Mr. Stanza. So I just assume, and I know you shouldn't assume, but I just assumed when I got the statement from Northampton County, because, you know, according to the deed, it has my address up there. I just assumed it was consolidated. So I just paid one bill. And to my surprise, 9 years later, I get this letter saying that I'm delinquent. And I'm like, I've been paying. But everyone's been very nice, and I'm paying on it now. But I would like the board to look at this and maybe review the tax bills and consider granting a waiver because of the error. I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Benson.
I believe, Attorney, I'm wrong. Make sure I'm right. We cannot waiver the tax. It's not in our jurisdiction to do that. Penalties we might, am I right?
Well, the short answer is the statute cited by Ms. Butler, I think, unfortunately, is controlling. I don't think there's any dispute that there was a notice, a mailing error. However, the statute, as you said, that you know, actual notice doesn't matter. In short, so I know for sure that the board cannot waive the principal amount of the taxes assessed. I don't know, frankly, I have not researched whether the interest can be waived. Ms. Butler, do you know off the top of your head? I'm happy to look into that further and report back to the board as soon as possible.
We're asking board members, I'll open it for you to discuss this, but I think what we need to do is give our attorney an opportunity to give back to us and tell us what our options are by law. Okay?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, all we want to know is what does the law say? What our options? Then this board can make a decision. Once we know what the law is, we decide.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do anything or nothing. We can.
Thank you so much.
We thank you, and we thank you for your attitude about it. We really do. And the board will certainly take this under consideration after we receive information back from our attorney.
Okay, thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Benson.
Bye-bye.
Come back to Northampton County. We need you and all you.
I plan to. I have 2 more years, and I plan to. I really.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, my last thing to bring before the board is a resolution adopting relief of late listing penalties. Whereas the Northampton County Board of Commissioners support the adoption of the resolution that provides a simple method of Northampton County taxpayers to request relief from the late listing penalty for personal property listings and grant that relief for the 2021 tax year for the late listing due to COVID-19. Whereas the Northampton County Board of Commissioners may, by authority granted under NC General Statute 105-312K, approve a taxpayer's request to waiver the penalty. Whereas the action of the Board of Commissioners must be recorded in the minutes of the board, and whereas the North Carolina Department of Revenue has encouraged counties to take such action for a uniform application of its power under the North Carolina General Statute 105-312K to benefit its taxpayers for 2021 due to the COVID pandemic. Now, therefore, it is resolved that Northampton County Board of Commissioners, pursuant to the authority granted under North Carolina General Statute 105-312K, does hereby approve the uniform waiver of any penalties assessed for late personal property listings upon the proper application by county taxpayers for relief therefrom for the 2021 tax year.
Okay. Board members, if you have any questions?
No question.
Do you send notices out to people that have perhaps not listed there?
Yes, sir, we do.
You send notices out?
Yes, sir.
Before we penalize them?
Well, we're penalizing them now because the board extended the listing period to March the 15th.
But now they're being penalized.
Now they're being penalized. But what I'm hoping by this thing is if they return a listing form, we're not going to be late listing them up to a time we have to prevail for the tax bills. So if they respond to us in time, I'm asking that we don't late list.
Yeah, I understand. So I just want to know, some people might might have forgotten that I supposed to.
Yes, sir.
Especially you don't live in Northampton.
And we've had some problems with the listing forms, the print job. So I'm really backing this. I think this is a great thing because there are some problems that we have found.
Right. Okay.
And this will give taxpayers an extra effort list and not be penalized.
Board members, any other questions?
No, sir.
This
No other
Commissioner
questions?
Faulkner,
Yes, Commissioner Fowler.
I saw the reference to electronic listing in the NCDRR letter. Is that something that is possible for us? Is it very costly?
I'm sorry, I did not understand.
Say it again, Commissioner Faulkner.
I saw a reference to electronic listing, and I was inquiring as to whether that was something that was possible for our county. Is that something that we've ever considered?
Miss Allen did consider it at one time, and for some reasons, not. I will get up with her tomorrow, ask her why we did not proceed with it.
Because that's just a lot of paperwork. If they could go on the computer.
I think it also with those citizens like Miss Benson who live
Right.
at a distance could,
Right.
if that could be one way of getting back to us. And I've always wondered why, if a citizen gets the age delay, why do they have to apply for the age delay? Because we don't get younger, we get older. But I guess that's maybe something in the state's requirements to get that exemption. But thank you for looking into that for us.
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, just look into it for us.
Will do.
Technology is here, and that's a lot of paperwork for you all down there.
Yes, sir, it is.
All these, every full of land has got to be, you got to list it, and you got to go through that process.
Yes, sir. It was over 20,000 forms that went out
And I
that
think
we got to go through.
they're trying to, how we can do it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In that age now, paper is not no more. Okay. I guess we need to approve the adoption of the release of late listening penalties.
Yes,
So
sir,
we need
please.
to approve that. Could I get a motion to approve this that our tax administrator has given us for late listening due to COVID-19?
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the COVID-19 personal property listing.
Okay. Could I have a second?
Second.
A second by Commissioner Ellis. Motion made.
Correction on that letter
Right.
by-
The resolution.
on
On the resolution. Adopting the relief of late listing penalties, excuse me.
Okay. Are there any questions, any other discussion?
Just a correction on the chairman's title on the resolution.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Oh, I see that.
That's it.
Okay.
Are there any others? If not, all in favor, let it be known by you, your sign. Aye.
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 I Buffalo.
I Faulkner.
As have it, motion is carried. Thank you, board members.
I thank y'all and y'all have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Butler.
It's been a long evening for you. Thank you so much. You were here earlier. Okay, we shall continue on now. Board appointments. Board appointments.
Budget amendment?
Budget amendment.
Financial, okay, I'm sorry. Good. Okay, number 11, budget amendments. Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have 3 budget amendments tonight. The first is budget amendment number 33, and this is to receive additional crisis and LEAP funding for DSS in the amount of $175,000.
Okay.
Budget amendment number 34 is to receive additional Region L Title III funding for DSS in the amount of $85,531. And budget amendment number 35 is to receive insurance proceeds for the Sheriff's Department in the amount of $3,765.83.
All right, board members, had the budget amendments as given by our finance officer. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the budget amendments 33, 34, and 35 as presented by our finance director.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Boone, second by Commissioner Elwood. Any questions in the discussion? All in favor, let it be known by your sign. Aye.
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 I Buffalo.
I Faulkner.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Green.
Board members, we've asked for people for the board appointments. And at this time, I'm going to ask the clerk to the board, if you would, clerk to the board, give us not the vacancy, give us those persons that have sent in for us the application that they want to be a part of, have consented that they want to be a part of what we do. If you'll give us those names.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, we have appointments for the first board will be the planning board. And all of the people that I'm going to mention tonight have submitted applications. For the planning board, we have Mr. Albert Van. He's from District 1. Okay, and then we have currently serving on the board, Mr. Joseph Flight. So he currently serves and will still remain on the board. We have Ms. Denise Cherry from Garrettsburg, North Carolina. And we have Ms. Tina Watson. She's from Garrettsburg, North Carolina. She will be reappointed to the planning board.
Continue on.
Okay, and then for the Home and Community Care Block Grant, we have applications from Ms. Iris Williams from Garrettsburg, North Carolina, Ms. Marjorie Edwards from Conway, North Carolina, and Ms. Peggy Carey from Rich Square, North Carolina. We also have for the Economic Development Commission, we have Ms. Victoria Newcomb of Rich Square, North Carolina, Kelby Hicks of Gaston, North Carolina, Vernon Key of Conway, North Carolina, Rebecca Turner. She is from Seaboard, North Carolina. We have William Tyrone Benjamin of Seaboard, North Carolina, John Duncan. He's also from Seaboard, North Carolina. And we have Mr. Grover Edwards from Lake Gaston, North Carolina. We have Stephanie Taylor from Garrettsburg, North Carolina, and the appointed commissioner for the Economic Development Commission is Commissioner Vice Chairwoman Geneva Riddick Faulkner. For the Turning Point Workforce Development Board, we have Ms. Marjorie Edwards from Conway. And for the Lake Gaston Weed Control Council, we have Grover Edwards from Lake Gaston, North Carolina.
Thank you. Board members, you have those names. There are still a few that we have not filled, and as the applicants come in, we will fill those positions.
And I also want to make note that we have a vacancy on the CADA board. This will be a replacement for Ms. Sheila Manley Evans, who retired. So we have a vacancy there. We also have a vacancy remaining for the Turning Point Workforce Development Board. We're looking for a small business owner to fill that vacancy. And also for the planning board, we're looking for someone from District 2 or District 3 to serve on that board as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And the Halifax Northampton Regional.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We're looking for an alternate. That means someone that will be standing in the absence of one of the actual board members for the Halifax Northampton County Airport Board.
Thank you. To our citizens, if you're interested in being a part of any of our boards, please let our clerk to the board know. She has a form that you need to sign. She can do it right on the telephone, right on the computer with it. Please let us know. We desire to have citizens involved in the everyday activities of our county. If you're on the planning board, certainly you will know of any changes that will be taking place, new things that will be coming. We'll certainly have to come to our planning board. If you're on economic board, you know, any new industry, anything that we plan to do, and we certainly will hope that you will serve on that board to bring some ideas to the table. All the other boards, likewise, we need you to have input to represent our county. We need representations. We need representations. We need you to represent us. Thank you again. At this time, I ask for a motion that those appointments will be approved.
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the board appointments as presented by our clerk to the board.
Second.
Moving proper second that we approve those appointments. That motion was made by Commissioner Boone, second by Commissioner Edwards. Are there any questions in the discussion? All in favor, let known by you, your sign aye.
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 Faulkner.
Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Thank you so much. County manager comments?
Yes, good evening, everyone, once again. First of all, I want to thank Ms. Turner again. As Mr. Tyner touched upon, right now we have a vacancy for Public Works and Director position. And I've been working with Ms. Turner on several issues dealing with citizen complaints, business complaints, and things like that. And Ms. Turner has graciously stepped in lieu of a director and provided advice that otherwise it would really leave the county in a bind. And Ms. Turner, I want to thank you because that's what Northampton County represents, citizens coming together and helping out in time of need. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very noble. In terms of public health, the infection rate for the county is at 7%, 6.5% for this week. We've had some weeks where it was 17%. So again, we've had some weeks where it was 2%. So I'm still asking citizens to please, wherever you go in public, please wear your mask and keep your distance. So in terms of economic development, again, we've made several strides in terms of applying for grants for some of our major projects. This is going to come in very handy as we look to finance some of our major projects moving forward. I want to thank our staff for reaching out to a lot of our elected officials, finding out what funding is available and filling out the applications. Any funds that we can save in terms of debt service by using grant funding is important. Planning and zoning, I want to thank our Citizen Advisory Committee for helping the county establish its first official comprehensive land use plan. I think, you know, this is a proud moment for the county as we look to plan to grow and develop our county. It all begins with land use, whether you're talking about economic development, transportation, utilities, open space, parks and recreation. It's best practice to always have an adopted land use plan. And now we have that for our county. This is a proud moment. And again, I want to thank the citizens for coming together over the past year, meeting by Zoom, meeting in person to provide input on that. Again, this is Northampton County citizens working together as a team to help the county grow. In terms of finance, Ms. Green and I are working on the budget. We should have a proposal to the board within the next 3 to 4 weeks. I want to thank Ms. Green again, and her staff for helping us out with that, and the staff for developing the department budgets. We hope to have a sound, practical budget presented to the board this year. In terms of human resources, I had a chance to look over the pay study results. Dr. Wood and I are going over that now, and we're hoping to have a presentation to the board by the end of May. We saw some good numbers, some good results from that study, and I think the board would be pleased. In terms of aging, again, we're posting a position for aging director. I'm hoping to have this person on board at least a month or two before we open our newly renovated senior center. I'm just excited to, again, provide another quality service to our citizens. They've been clamoring for this for quite a long time, and we're going to deliver this service to them like we should. I'm excited about that. In terms of upcoming meetings, we have a special call meeting, I think on May 3rd, for public hearing for the Gaston Fire District. And we've put out notices for that, and we want to let the folks from Gaston know that if you have any questions, please call my office or the tax office, and we'll be glad to provide any information that you need. That concludes my comments.
Thank you. At this time, we want to know if there are any citizens with any comments. Okay. No public comment? Okay. Any citizen desiring to participate in the public comment session of our meeting, feel free to do so. You can send it in writing, or you can come in person, whatever you so desire. Please feel free to come with any comments that you might desire to have, following the rules that we have adopted for public comment. At this time, board, I'm going to ask you at this time, are there any comments that you would like to make as board members? I'll start with you, Mr. Ellis. Any comments you'd like to make?
Just wanted to remind everyone, just like Mr. Jackson was saying, please remember, vaccinations are out there, but right now, COVID-19 is still out there. Just remember to stay safe. That's my comments.
Thank you. Buffalo.
Good evening. I just want to thank all of the staff and our citizens for all that you do to make Northampton County the best county to live in North Carolina. With all of the things that are going on around us, I'd like to read this little poem that was sent to me today while I was sitting at home, sort of in a sad mood because I was listening to the trial of George Floyd. The poem reads, plant your spring garden, 3 rows of peas, peace of mind, peace of heart, peace of soul. 3 rows of squash, squash indifference, squash hatred, squash bullying. 3 rows of lettuce, let us be kind, let us be compassionate, let us love one another. Water with patience and cultivate with love. And it's by Shoe Sprinkles, Spread Kindness. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Commissioner Boone.
Yes, I would just like to make one announcement again, and I hit on it just a little while earlier, that we will be honoring the memory of those that we've lost in the midst of such, I would say, troubling times in our nation and communities within the past year. And these troubling times consist of COVID-19 pandemic, senseless murders, political and racial tensions, and the list goes on and on. But if you or someone you know have lost a loved one within the past year, year and a half or so, you would like to submit their name and an optional photo, please do so at the email address that has been provided. The flyer has been circulating on our county webpage and Facebook page and around our county in various places. There will be a candle lighting ceremony held again on Sunday, May the 2nd, 2021 at 7:00 p.m. Here in Jackson on the courthouse steps. And if you would like to attend, you may do so. But remember, we are enforcing social distancing and masks are required. Please feel free to join our Northampton County community for what we would like to call a night of hope and healing for our citizens. And I would like to also add that our thoughts are with the Kip Pride family as well, as a part of our community, as they are dealing with their missing founder, Miss Tammy Sutton. And so our thoughts are with you all, the Kip Pride family, our Northampton County family as well. And we are hoping and praying for the best. Those are my comments tonight.
It is. Say. At this time, Commissioner Fulton.
Good evening. I'd like to take this opportunity to share a few updates with the community. My sentiments are, as Commissioner Boone, with the Kip family. Ms. Sutton was a teacher on the Gaston end when I was teaching on the Conway end. So I'm very familiar with her for a long time being in education. So we're praying again for her safe return. I want to also bring attention to a few opportunities for our citizens. Roanoke Chowan Community College is offering a CDL Class A truck driver training class. The first of those classes will be from May 10th to June 3rd, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. a Monday through Thursday class. That will give them a total of 160 hours. The second is June the 7th to July the 1st. Same time frame, given again 160 hours. The cost of the course is $3,182. It includes the tuition, the physical, the screening, the background checks, driving records, permits, and license. One-stop shop registration, register and pay at RCC at their Ahoskie campus. If you have any questions, you can call 252-862-1307 or 252-862-1234. Again, that's a 4-week training, and they do have tuition assistance and scholarships available. So don't delay in contacting if you will need financial assistance to make that happen for you. Sharing is caring. The Care John 316 Center and with their Rich Square location will have a drive-through free food distribution on Friday, April the 23rd, from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and it's while the food lasts, and it will be in the Rich Square W.S. Creasy Elementary School parking lot, or the Creasy Center parking lot at 210 Roberts Road in Rich Square. This is sponsored by the Roanoke Valley United Way. So please share that information with your friends. I also want to bring attention to a program that will impact our entire community with opportunities. It's the Northampton Career and Technical Academy of Innovation, and it will be housed at the former the Creeksville campus, the old Northampton County High School campus. They're in Creeksville with programs from digital Adobe Suite, gaming design, agricultural science, allied health, automotive technology, diesel mechanics, cosmetology, culinary and hospitality, early childhood education, emergency medical technician, HVAC, welding, firefighting, and more. If you are interested in learning more about it, you go to Northampton County Schools homepage. There will be a link to a Zoom opportunity that will be this Wednesday, April 21st, starting at 6 o'clock. That it will physically be at the Wellness Center, but because of limited space, everyone will not be able to be accommodated. So we're asking the public, although the public is invited, we do have that cap that we have to observe, that to tune in via the Zoom meeting link. And that Zoom meeting link is on the homepage of Northampton County Schools, which is northampton.k12.nc.us. And whether your child goes to any public school that offers a pre-K program, we encourage all of our families that if you have a student that's school age, pre-K through 12, to make sure that they're in school and to get those applications from your closest elementary school or your school of choice for pre-K and kindergarten, most definitely. And then opportunities for students to return back to the building and communicating with your school's principal, social worker, or classroom teachers. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank all of you commissioners for all that you do and all the support that you give. I just have a couple of announcements, a couple of information that I'd just like to inform you about. First of all, I want to say to all of those who are listening to us tonight from the Lake Gaston area, in the area that Mr. Edwards represent, I want to thank you for inviting me to your place this past week to talk about the kinds of things that we desire to do on the western end of the county. I want you to know with 125, you will represent 125 people. We thank you for your hospitality. We thank you for listening. We thank you for your support. I want to thank Mr. Edwards for having the people in his district come together in support, not in opposition, but in support. I need to say to Mr. Edwards, thank you for that. That was great for us to let us know that we have those in Lake Gaston living on the lake who are in support of what we're doing in Northampton County. I also want to say to all of you that we have opportunities in Northampton County. Opportunities are here for small businesses. We want to thank those who've been working behind the scene. I learned today that there are over 30 small businesses in Northampton County that have received either small business administration funds or PP funds. They have applied, and I just want you to know that I'm thankful for all the resources that this county has and all that we're doing to help small businesses in our county. Our county can be no better than all of us. Let us all continue to work together to improve our county. If we work together, we can move Northampton County where we really desire for it to be. We want to thank our administrative staff, all of those who working in the county for all that you're doing in support of our county. We want to thank the tax department and in particular for helping us to collect some taxes that we need to collect. I want to thank all of the departments for all that you're doing in support. And I know that we're going to be better off next year than we are this year financially. We're going to be better off because we're going to have businesses that come to our county and the businesses that we have thriving in our county. We know the reason we are where we are today is because of the businesses that we have, the small businesses that we have that are thriving now. Thank you, business owners, for deciding to start a business. Thank you for all the support that you give, and we're looking forward for another budget that our county manager that will present to us that will elevate us, move us to the next level. We're tired of being in a tier 1 county. We want to be in tier 2. Our goal is to move from tier 1 to tier 2. To move to tier 2 means that we got to make sure that our citizens are taken care of. We got to make sure that our citizens have food. And thank all of you, every one of you, for all of you who are helping in our food bank program. It's still going well. I want to thank you, county commissioners. I want to thank you, Commissioner Faulkner. I want to thank you, Commissioner Buffalo. I want to thank you, Commissioner Boone. All of you for helping in the food bank program that we can make sure that our citizens have food. Thank you, Health Department, for all that you do. We do know that we have a senior program. Thank you, Health Department, for all that you're doing in helping us to serve our citizens. We desire that no citizen in Northampton County would be hungry. We desire that no children in Northampton County would be hungry. So again, we're about the total person in Northampton County. We're about helping the person totally. So again, thank you all for all that you do. And we look forward to even greater news in our next commissioner meeting as we develop, as we continue to put things in place for Northampton County. Have a good evening. If there are no other comments, at this time, I entertain a motion that we will go into closed session.
Chairman Town, I make a motion that we enter into closed session pursuant to General Statute 143, 318, 11A6 personnel, 11A3 attorney-client privilege, and 11A4 for EDC report.
Thank you. Thank you. Did you want to? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Faulkner. We're sorry. At this time, Commissioner Faulkner has made a motion. Could I get a second? Commissioner Buffalo, second. Any question? In discussion? All in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
Aye.
I, Faulkner.
Ayes have it. Motion is carried. Thank you so much. And our